Hello everybody, it's me. Hi, I am Sheila Ho. Just give me a moment here. I'm just gonna see if you can see me. Hi guys, I am live and I'm trying to do a simultaneous live through Facebook and YouTube. So if you're watching, please say hi. Here, I'll tap into the YouTube chat. I hope you can see me on both platforms. This is something new that I'm trying. So if my eyes are darting around, it's because I'm looking at my analytics and making sure that both streams are happening. And if you see me reaching around as well, I'm looking at the different devices that I have. This is pretty exciting. I've never done that before. Anyway, oh hey, so glad to see you. Hey Casey. Okay, I'm just gonna jump right into it. And oh, fantastic! How is Kelowna? It's beautiful in Vancouver, I gotta say. So if you're watching me live or if you're watching me on the replay later, I do say, thank you very much for watching. And if it's your first time watching me, let me just do a quick introduction. I'm Sheilaho of Sheilaho Design, and I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I'm based in Vancouver, Canada, and I'm really happy to do this and to have the privilege of being able to make cards and give them out to friends and family for fun. What I gotta say, so today we are going to be looking at the Natural Tones blends, which I'm super excited about, and I've played with them many a time, so I might have to get a new set of blends, only because I've been making so many cards with them. Okay, so let's just get on with it, and I will move on over to the other camera, so bear with me here as we take a look. Oh, you can see it now, Zachary. Okay, great, I love it. That's my son. He's my tech advisor as we do this kind of stuff. So over here you see the blends. Okay. I hope you have a good view of them. I'm just going to pop that back up. Okay. So these are the Natural Tone blends. They come in 10 different shades and they're numbered actually. They don't have a name. If you can see here, this one is 100 and it goes up to 1,000. So 100, 200, 300, etc., all the way up to 1,000. Like all the other Stampin' Up! Blends that you may or may know and are used to, they have a thin side, a thin nib, as they call it, and it's a very sturdy type of nib. And on the other side, we have a thicker brush tip nib. Oops, there we go. Now what's nice is you can also put the caps on the other side so you don't lose them, something I am notorious for doing. Yeah, so this is really great. So how do they look on paper, you ask? Okay, well, so Stampin' Up! Has this Natural Tones Stampin' Blends chart. Now bear in mind that these blends really, as they say, blend beautifully. These are alcohol markers. Excuse me, I'm going to move my mic around so you can hear me a bit better. So these are alcohol markers. And the beauty of alcohol markers over, say, the watercolor markers is that you get seamless blending as you work with them. And it's super, they're super fun. Okay. So this chart here, I labeled from 100 to 1,000 on each side. I colored with each marker. So for example, the 100 was just the one marker on its own. But if you look here, say I did 500 and 600, that's somewhat what the blend would look like. So you can see from here, they're kind of similar in shade. Now that being said, it really depends on how much you lay down with the ink. So by that I mean it's how many times you will go over the colors with other colors. So for this blend chart that I did, I only laid down one time for each marker. So for example, I colored in, we'll just do the 500. I colored down a layer of marker in the 500 tone, and then I laid down another color of 600. So it was just 1-to-1 ratio. It really depends. So if you do it 2 times or 3 times even with your overlapping colors, your shades may not look exactly like this. But what I will say is that this chart is really beautiful. It gives me a visual cue as to how I want to color the objects, whether it's faces, hands, or anything else. But it gives such a beautiful, beautiful variety of skin tone for today's purposes. Okay, so next things next is I'm going to show you how to use some of these blends in action. So today we're going to color this piece of DSP. It's from the All Together suite through Stampin' Up. So I personally obtained these things from these suite photographs, or designer series paper, through a swap. When you join my team, you get to participate in all these kinds of things. You get to participate in make and takes or swaps, and you get to, little pieces of designer series papers or elements that you may or may not have, may not have purchased yourself, but it's a nice little taste of what the product is about, and it's maybe you'll want to buy the whole suite for yourself later. So I was really grateful that I got an opportunity to test this out. So today we will start coloring. So the nice thing about the All Together suite, and put the markers to the side, is that the hands, mostly, well, they're all hands, but they all come just on the printed DSP as such, and it allows for us to color them in different shades that kind of represent what our world is, right? Because that was probably, as you know, and we're all aware, current events, particularly during this pandemic, that was something that our society had to come to reckoning with, right? So Stampin' Up is moving forward, and it's come into the 21st century and recognizes that not all the shades are going to be representative of one particular people. So I think for this, I want to color. I like to color using 3 markers, one for shading, one for, I guess, providing the tone, and one for the full blend. So I'm going to start with this tall hand, and I'm going to do 400 numbers. I'll do 400, 500, and 600, and we'll see how that looks. So here's 600. So because my eyes are kind of going, I put a sticker on the back of mine so I can see the names clearly. Because if you look here, and if you have aging eyes like mine, it's hard for me to see the 600 on the side. I probably need glasses. Yep. But I'm in denial. Okay, so there's 600, here's 500, and let me just look for 400. And 400. So we're going to call this one with the hand way up in the air. We're going to color that. I also like to think of where the light source is coming from when I start coloring these things. So I think for today, maybe it'll just come kind of on this angle. It does not have to be perfect. Remember, this is is art, and this is your own interpretation of things. So with the blends, I start with the darkest color first, darkest shade first. Okay. And I will lay down on using the stiffer nib. Lay it down like that. And kind of the areas where I think there will be a little bit of shadow. Okay. Usually in the creases of one's hand. Yeah, that's usually where one would see a shadow. If you look at your own hand, kind of tip that back and forth and see where it goes. So I'm just going to blend that in some more. As I say, these are alcohol markers, so when they're wet, that's when you want to work with them on the paper. They blend extremely well. It has a different effect when you blend after the marker has dried. Okay, so the next shade is 500. So the shades work up, as you saw, from 100 being the darkest shade to 1,000, I think, being the lightest shade. Here I'm going to use the brush tip. If I can get the lid off, I will use the brush tip. I'm going to use this, and I'm going to blend in those shadows. So everyone has a different technique of how they use their blends. I tend to use mine with a stroke. Some like to use circles. I feel that, or swirls. I feel that that lays down too much ink for me, and that's not the way I want to go with my coloring. So, all right. Okay, so we'll do like that. And again, it's not perfect. You can see I've kind of come out of the lines. You have what's called a color lifter that will help lift some of that off. Okay. And then I'll do the number 6 while this is while it's all kind of laying down. So laid down. So what I'm going to do here, as you can see, is I'm just trying to blend it all in. You can see on the end and the back it goes through that way as well. So what I'm going to do to kind of prevent some of the bleed is I'm going to lay down, excuse me here as I reach. Here we go. I'll just lay down a piece of paper, such. So sometimes with the DSP, you get a lot of bleed, and that's okay. I mean, you know, if that's part of the art. So here's one shade of the hand using 400, 500, and 600 on this. So that's what they look like here for that hand. The next hand, I think maybe I'll do this one, and I will try, let's do 6, 7, and 800. You need to get these. Yeah, I agree. No, they are so good. I've never been so impressed with a set of blends before, and this is so awesome. So I'm going to do 600, 700, and 800. Again, I like to blend in 3s. You can choose to blend in 2s. It's all dependent on how you want your project to look. So again, right, I'm going to look towards, if you can see my hand, I'm going to bring the light to that to this corner, the left hand corner. I don't know direction, I'm sorry. And we will start with 600. So see, I started coloring with the 800. That's okay. You know what? It happens. It happens. All right. So again, same technique. Kind of looking into the creases. This is 600 now. And getting all in there. This is, I'm using the stiffer nib, the fine tip. And we're going to just do that. I think sometimes, depending on your DSP, it is a good idea to have a piece of paper underneath that, we're learning in real time, friends. I totally forgot. Okay. Look at that. Oh, nice. So what else is so lovely about them? I like that they just come together so cleanly. So when it's wet, so when the ink is wet, that's what I mean, you get a nice seamless blend. So again, if you do the up and down strokes, I find you use less ink actually. Okay. So this is a mid-tone. This is 700. I'm going to give this hand a bit of, a bit more tone as far as that is concerned. And then the 800 will come in. Now it does stay wet for a little bit. It's not like you have to lay the color down right away. I would recommend you just kind of, maybe don't leave it for a day, but you could probably leave it for a couple of minutes, say, if you wanted to walk away. And for this one, because the hand is so close together, I'm gonna take that. And again, I'm just gonna stroke and stroke on the inside there. Oh, look at that, beautiful. Okay, I'm gonna take my nib end and we'll do that. Oh, wow. And see, you can see just from using 3 different colors, the differences in the tone and how realistic the color of the hands are. You could go a step further and you can take, let's say, another darker shade and draw in the creases of the hand and make it more realistic if that's what works for you. That's not what's working for me right now, so I like this graphic the way it is. I love seeing the tones, and just even with these 6 or 5 colors, because they both shared the color 600, but just seeing how layering them in different ways and just going from a shade to shade creates these beautiful and very realistic skin tones. So what I'm going to do here, wrong side, I want the brush tip. So I'm just going to fix up this crease. Okay, great. Also in here, I'm going to fix up this, oops, wrong side. Again, I'm going to fix up that area there. I'm going to lay down another thing of 600. There we are. And it's beautiful. Okay, so we got 2 more hands, or like a hand and a half. Let me try. Let's see. Let's do, for this one, let's do 5, 6, 7. No, you know what? Let's try 200, 300, 400. Since we have a 400 in this one, that would be really exciting. So here's the 300, 200, and let me get 400. Okay, 400. Again, I start with the darker tone, like always, usually using the nib. That I find gives me more control. There we are. And it's all about where the light is leading us, right? Yeah. So for those of you who play with blends, do you have any favorite colors? Like right now, these are my favorite blends, but before we got to this point with these blends, I think my favorite was Old Olive. And actually, you know what? I'm going to go find my Old Olive blend. Hold tight. It's in this room somewhere. Okay. Oh, for sure. Hey, Casey. Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, needing coloring and stuff. These blends are amazing for that. So not all skin tones are going to be in that range of 1,000. I find some of us are olive toned. Some of us are pink toned, and some of us have, very cool blue tone. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to layer down some of this light, oops, upside down, sorry guys, light Old Olive blend. Okay, I won't do that yet. We will wait. So I did 400. And you see how I walked away from the 400 when I laid it down? It's still quite damp. So never fear, my friends, right? You can move away from that. And come back, a little bit later. So my 300 I use a lot. It's going. And I've only had it's going because I've colored a lot of things using the 300s. Okay. Alrighty. I'll just use the nib tip here to kind of get me there. All right. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to lay down some olive tones here, and you'll see how adding a color that is very realistic to all of us. Some of us have, like I say, a bit of a green or a greenish shade. It doesn't mean we're alien. It just means that that's the skin tone we have. I myself have a much more neutral tone. So if you wear MAC makeup, I'm an NC, as they call it, neutral color. Okay. And right now it's looking weird, right? Not human at all. But we're going to go into that. with 300. And I didn't bring the green all the way down because, again, we're looking to try and make semi-realistic, but without, you know, that hand situation. Oh, we did that with a 300. I'm going to go in with 400 now. 400. And we're going to just lay down some color here. Oh, looky there. Oh, it looks so good. Okay. So I would encourage you, you know, at home, play around with your blends. Play around and get as many color combinations as you want and need to complete that project of yours. Here we are. Look at that. Okay, so this nib is also, the thinner nib, the sturdy nib, is also good for those tight spaces, like here around this individual's thumb. Look at that. Okay. Okay, I'm going to lay down some more ink. You can lay down as much or as little as you want to get the tones and the shading that you need. Alrighty, so there's that. We've got this like 1.5, it's half a hand. Okay. Right, let's see. Let's do, we did 5, 6, 7. You know what? Let's keep it. Let's do 7, 9, 8, and 9. 8 and 9. Where's 800? There it is. Okay. 700, 800, 900 for this kind of half a hand. So I was really happy to be able to get a chance to play with this. As I said, this was part of a team swap. So I got to play with something that I don't, like papers that I don't have. I only have the markers. So this for me was a real treat to be able to try the colors on something that, you know, besides like making my own swirls and stuff. Okay, here we go. So this is 800. We've laid down the 7 there in the areas where I feel that light would shine. Okie dokie. Okay, and then now we're going to lay down the 900. Okay. And there you are. Okay. If I could find my color lifter pen, I have no idea where that is right now. I would use it, and you could use that to just kind of blend out some of these. So I'm going to use something that is here. Use a different color blender pen because I can't find mine right now, but it does the same thing. And I promise the next time I color, I will get a proper blending pen somewhere. I will look for it. Okay. And even in here too, you know, as it does that, we shall leave the hand the way it is. Oh yes, hi. Yeah, no, it's absolutely, I think it's up to you how you want to shade. I like to use the combination of 3 to color skin tones in because I feel that gives it a much more realistic look. You can use just 2. You can even just use the 1. But I find minimum 2, but I think for me and for the way I like to color, ideally 3. So that you can get the shade, you can get the toning, and you can get the overall blending, and using them in the close numbers because that's the way that the shades are, I guess, assembled. It's better to use that to get the right kinds of colors. So let me just bring back that blending chart again. So you can see here, we'll just stick to, like, say the midtones here, the 5, 6, 7s. You can see if you blend 600 with 5, 500, that's 600 itself, and 7, you can see how very close the shading is. Whereas if you blend, say, a 600 with a 100 and an 800 or even a 7, it's quite, you know, it's quite a difference in tone. You will get some really nice colors. For example, if we blend a 700 and a 100, you can see it on both sides there. It is a lot fairer. It's a little bit less. It's a little bit less dark, but you get a different kind of shade as well. So you'll see that the 1000 on its own is very pinkish. But if you blend a 1000 and a 100, Yeah, there it is at the top. Then you can see, you know, you don't see a lot of the 1000 in there. It's kind of buried. It is kind of, you kind of see the pinkish tones. At least I can. I know it's hard to see on the screen, but you see a bit of the pinkish tones. So it's best to just kind of stay close. Hope that answers your question. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the making of the card. I'm going to put this piece of paper away. All right. So that's the other thing about the swaps and things that make them takes. You get these, we get to make cards. Obviously, that's what we do. Okay, so for this one, this is a piece of Pool Party. It's your standard card size, 5.5 by 4.25 inches. I'm going to do it here in the landscape position. This is another piece of DSP, Designer Series paper, from the All Together Suite. I think today maybe we'll use this side. This is the crisscross, and this one is, it's just straight line pattern, much a grid pattern, much like this mat. Okay, sweet. I also cut out a piece of supple shimmer paper in blue. This is available in our mini catalog, the January through June, and it's amazing. It does, as I've talked about it before, it does not shed, it is not gritty, it is quite smooth, and it's really fun to play with, and it cuts nicely so that the glitter doesn't go everywhere. And it's, you know, it matches our Pool Party card base really nicely. And this is a piece of the tag punch, or not tag punch, sorry, tag dies, that I think I'll assemble it in this way. There's also, with that suite, this checkered or gingham type of ribbon, forget the exact name, that accompanies this particular suite if you buy the whole set. Okay, so I'm just going to cut off a piece of that, and we will get to town making this. So this is an easy card. I only really like to do easy because it takes up too much time for me. I like to make the cards fast. And I know that there's some beautiful cards out there with lots of layers. I'm astounded, and I'm so amazed by the intricacy of those cards. I wish I could do that, but I cannot. I'm not there yet, people. Okay, so this one requires tying a bow, a knot, onto the tag, so, and that will form the base like that. So what I'm also going to do is just kind of fix the edges here. I'm just going to trim that so we don't have that little scraggly piece of fabric, string there. And the next thing I'll do is, what I'll do, take my liquid glue, and I will attach that as so. Oh, I forgot one crucial thing, which I'm going to do after this. See, even I forget because I'm in a rush. I always feel like I'm in a rush to make cards, but I shouldn't be. And I definitely should not be if I'm on a live stream. Okay. All right, let that glue just dry for a sec. It doesn't take too much time. And I'm just going to check on my other stream here on my Facebook. How are you folks? Facebook friends? Okay, great. Okay. So with that, I forgot to stamp the sentiment. See, I'm such a goofball. Okay. So this sentiment that I'm going to use is from the Best Chapter stamp set. This is available in the annual catalog. It's new this year. And it's great. It has different types of greetings for, you know, most things that people will need. You know, happy housewarming. I know a lot of people who are buying homes right now and having that event in their life. There's, I know a lot of friends having babies. Welcome to parenthood. As we approach wedding season, hopefully things will be normal. We can do that. Anyway, and then there's a lot of, you know, very empowering messages here from this Best Chapter set. So today we're going to use You've Got This teeny tiny set, tiny stamp set. Cute! Cute, cute, cute. Okay. So mount this onto the block. This is block G. Block G. And I'm going to stamp directly onto the card. So I'm just going to make sure it lays flat. I should have stamped it before, but you know what? We learn. We learn. Okie dokie. Make sure it's in the right direction. Make sure it's also straight. So I got to do that too. So that's the fun thing about the photopolymer sets is you can kind of, especially if it's these word ones, sentiment ones, you can kind of bend them around to fit what you need. Say you make a curvature or whatnot with a stamp set. I like to ink it up a lot. And I'm going to put that to the side. So right here I'm going to put it down. Okay, wish me luck, peeps. Okay. Yay! Okay, look at that. Sweet. All right. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to attach the tag to the back of the supple shimmer paper, just so. I'm going to use some tear tape. Sometimes I like to use tear tape more than the liquid glue. Really just depends on how I'm feeling today. What's nice about the tear tape is that once it's stuck, it's stuck. Okay. Here we go. Here we go. All right. And then we see that this is the DSP on this side. And it's looking cute. Okay. I'm going to take my dimensionals and lift this up. I love dimensionals. So many card makers do. I mean, it provides that extra poof, right? And I like lots. Okay. Lots and lots of dimensionals. Woohoo! All right. Then I'm going to lay it down. Just so. Okay, and there we are. The card's almost done. Of course, we got to mount it down just like this. For this, I'll go back to the Tombow glue, the multi-purpose glue. I find with that, you know, I don't have to be so accurate, right? Sweet. Okay. Then ta-da! Lays down like that. And I feel it needs sparkly or some kind of thing. I mean, the supple shimmer paper for sure gives it all that bling. But let's see, what do I have here that would be blingalicious or just like oomphalicious? If that's a word even. Oomphalicious. Oh, you know what? These classic matte dots. That's what I got. Yeah, let's try. Let's try for that. Okay. So again, I'm using Take Your Pick tool. This is one of my faves. Just discovered it this year. I know many of you have been using it for a zillion years, but I slow to the party. Late to the party, I should say. I'm going to use these black dots. The one there. And over there, and over there. I'm just going to keep it to the 3. Yeah, keep it to the 3. And that's that for the card. I've got some other things I'll show you. I did some coloring. Let me put those dots away, because I'll lose the dots, much like I lost my my color lifter pen. Color lifter pen. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. Let me just see what other cards I have here. My desk is a hot mess. I am so sorry. Oh, here it is. Okay. So the other card I wanted to show you was this one. So I colored this card in the same manner. This one was using 100, 200, 300. This was using 5, 6, and 7. And this used 600, 700, 800. And this was all I think it was 3, 4, and 5. But you can see how beautiful the tones come out with these natural blend markers. I mean, they are amazing. Now, it's not just hands and stuff, right, for this Altogether suite. It also has this beautiful DSP. On the flip side of one of them, I can't remember which one it is now because I'm like under pressure to look for it. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, so there you go. It's yeah, so that's, oops, I've got card on my fingers. So those are 3 of the cards that I made just using the suites, using the coloring, using the markers. So I'll bring them back out for you. I believe some of them are still on back order, but there are others that are still available to you to purchase. Or they have low inventory on some of these colors. So if you want them, I would say snag them now before they're all gone. And we never know how long these promos will last. But I gotta say, these are such beautiful, beautiful markers to be able to play with and you know, create some beautiful skin tones and very beautiful projects with them. It doesn't necessarily have to be these just, you know, hands and faces. If you look on my blog, I think in February I did some hearts using these markers. I also did some calligraphy with these markers, so take a look, see on that at sheilaho.ca for all of those. All right. Okay, so I'm just gonna walk back to my laptop here. We're gonna bring it back to me. Okay. Alrighty. Bear with me as I go through this. Okay, so I'm going to bring it back to my face. You can see me. Hi. Oh, did you have fun? Oh, I'm so glad. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thanks for watching. I appreciate that. And I appreciate your taking the time to see me today. Okay, so today, friends, I have a promo for you. So right now, the current promotion... excuse me, current promotion is this. If you purchase this mini Stamp and Cut and Emboss machine this month to March 31st, it's 20% off. Also, the selected bundles, including the one that you see there, is the Wildcats bundle. It's 20% off too while supplies last through the month of March. There are other amazing bundles as well. I think there's a Pansies one and whatever else. I would encourage you to go to my shop, sheilaho.stampinup.net, to take a look at them. Now, with that, if you purchase $65 this month of product before taxes and before shipping, you will receive the Rhinestone Waves Basic Jewels as a gift from me. And I've ordered a set for myself, so I'm going to play with them. Also, coming up next week, or next Sunday, I'll be doing a demo using the Cut and Emboss machine, as well as the Wildcats dies and stamp set. So take a look at that and stay tuned. Also, if you're on my blog, it's sheilaho.ca, and you'll find a lot of different projects with the Wildcats bundle right now. Okay, and so be sure to use, when you're shopping with me, be sure to use this month's host code, this combobulation of letters, BHYAZ4EC, when you check out. Also, you can find all of this on my website, my blog, sheilaho.ca. It's all the information's there on the sidebar. Also, follow me on all my socials at Sheilaho Design. And hope to see you soon. And you know, we'll create again. So again, next week I'll be doing the Wildcats bundle. I'm hoping that my Cut and Emboss machine arrives soon. I'm excited about that, the mini one, and we will come up with some really, really fun things. All right, everybody. Thanks for your time this weekend. I'm so happy to see your faces and share all this creative fun with you. All right, take care.